This week we detail the first Google Books partnered e-reader. We take a look at the HP Touchpad reviews, and finally we mourn the loss of the Sony mini disc Walkman. All this week on Gadget Gurus.
Gadget Gurus, episode 57. It's Monday, July 11th, 2011.
Boom. So I just want to mention before we get out of the gate here, Smoothie in the chat room, you can find him pretty much every time we're broadcasting, Smoothie_XL. He donated some money for us to register pbcasttv, and we just did that, and so it may not be working at the time that you're looking at this, but hopefully by next week we'll have everything sorted out.
And stapled.
That way you'll be able to go to pbcasttv.com or pbcast.tv, because Smoothie says that he always goes to pbcast.tv, and I know Lennox Cool Dude and a couple other people always say that we're from pbcast.tv when we used to not be, but now we are. All right. So, Jake, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Nicholas. Thanks for asking.
Luckily, when we set up... Oh, one more thing. Eric did a really nice video. He took 4.5 hours of our footage, all of our footage, essentially, of us redesigning the studio and time-lapse it in about 4.5 minutes. So if you want to watch the whole thing, but in really sped-up, high-speed awesomeness, you can head over to pbcasttv.com. And,
yeah, and I like how at the end of it, I was like sitting around and you were like...
Oh, yeah. That's when you were trying to figure out how to...
like, stupid Linux, let me do the wireless.
But what I was getting to is, luckily, when we redesigned the studio, we did set up the Mad Monday cam. Yeah, I gotta get over here.
Why, you should have been like, Jacob, the Mad Monday.
Jacob, the Mad Monday.
The Mad Monday is number 6.
We need a channel that, like...
You ready?
Yeah, I'm
ready.
ready. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Monday.
And hopefully on Tuesday, tomorrow or Wednesday, live stream will return 24/7. And hopefully Jacob's, what was that thing called? An HDMI coupler will come in so we can use...
He'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, good. So we'll be coming
right after
to
we don't need it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been a lot of different... You know, we missed a week last week because, as we did with all of our shows, if you watch Tech Weekly, we had a really cool episode with Carlo on Saturday. And we missed a lot of cool gadget news. And you've got a really awesome gadget that's you're going to be getting towards the end of the month, and I don't really want to spoil it or anything, but it's going to be a pretty cool review. Yeah. So anyway, let's jump into our first story here. Jeff, you know about Google Books, right?
Yeah.
That we actually... Sure. That was a couple months ago that they shipped Google Books out to the Android phones, and you can get that on any Honeycomb tablet. I think a lot of the, like, it's kind of like G-Apps or something. It's running.
No,
or it should be running. Oh, my dad must have exited out.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you sure it's not running?
No,
yeah, it is.
Not.
It's running.
Where's it at?
Go over there. It's the wine thing.
Oh,
go.
This thing over here?
Yeah, it's running.
Oh, gosh.
Did it not work?
I don't know. I was going to it.
Oh.
Somebody changed the IP.
It's 106. Oh, that's the net top, dude.
I'm going to every single one of them. Oh, well. So, I'll fix it later. And as later,
anyway,
I mean right now while we're working on it.
The iRiver story. Now, iRiver, they've done a couple different things. They did MP3 players. They've had a couple other devices. But they've partnered with Google, and they're now the first... partner. It's the flagship device for the Google Bookstore, and this is it's not the first device, but it's the first e-reader that features like an e-ink screen, kind of like the Kindle and stuff. Now it's priced competitively with the Kindle. It's $139, and it is only Wi-Fi, and you can get it July 17th at Target. The cool thing about Google's little e-reader thing, or their Google Books. Something wrong there, Jacob?
No, it's fine.
It's not working?
I just have to find the stupid thing that will make it work. Because apparently the IP has changed again.
It's 106. It's always been 106.
It's never been 106, Nicholas. It's 106 right now.
Anyhow.
It wasn't 106 last week.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to go and
but the cool thing about Google Books is they have a lot of different public domain books, and I had to research The Three Musketeers last year in school. And the cool thing was I didn't have to go to a library or anything to check out that book. It's because it's public domain. The copyright was out of date now, and Google actually picked that up, and I downloaded it to. Actually, I looked at it through the web browser, and it was public domain, and it was free, and it worked out great. And the cool thing is you can download. I think they've got like thousands of books that you can download, ebooks. But so, what do you think about this, Jeb? I mean. I think it's kind of too late to the game because it's really just Kindle hardware with gold keys and Google Books. I mean, can't you kind of see... I mean, obviously this won't be the last e-reader to feature Google Books. I think really right now Google Books works best on an iPad or an iPhone or an Android tablet or an HP Touchpad if they have that application, which I doubt that they do. But anyway, I just thought I would mention that. If you like to read, Google Books is really cool. You can get a lot of your public domain books and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And I would actually have this up if the IP address hadn't changed. Sorry. It's all my fault. 106. Apply.
Boom.
And here it is.
Yay.
Oh, shenanigans. There it is right there. That's the way it looks right there.
That's not it, dude.
We've already skipped that?
No, you reordered them or something.
No, that's how the order was.
Oh, okay. I must have messed them up. So
Nick
get the
Jones.
There we
go.
go.
My gosh. We're doing it in the order. You just looked at him.
I know.
Okay, so there's the iRiver.
Yeah, I mean, it looks just like a Kindle, pretty much.
It looks just like it, except
it's got gold keys.
It's got iRiver on there and gold keys.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean... I imagine, especially some of maybe the Nook or something, we'll get this later. Yeah. So I found this pretty cool, and Jet, we talked about the HP Touchpad, which actually launched on a week ago from yesterday. I think it was July 1st that it launched in the U.S. Now, the HP Touchpad is, of course, HP's first device that they featured WebOS. You remember several months ago we talked about how WebOS and Palm were essentially bought by HP. And the cool thing is, new tablet, 9.7 inches, not same resolution, but same screen size as the iPad, and it features just a front-facing camera, not a back-facing camera, which was kind of weird. But let's look at this. So, initial reviews are the screen is really nice. Like, remember we talked about the what was that, the Zoom? They said that the screen was washed out. Now, you and I tried out one. I didn't get to really try it out that much, but I didn't really see that many issues with the screen. I guess it would probably be you'd have to use it like long-term and stuff, but they're really saying that this HP Touchpad screen is just great. And honestly, I've always been a pretty big fan of the WebOS. It's based on Linux, which is pretty cool, and they used web standards for development. So they use a lot of JavaScript, they use a lot of HTML5, CSS work for their app development, which is kind of weird, but what is that?
The power plug. That's horrible looking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, HP does have some cool little niche products that they have. You ever seen that, Jeb? The Touchstone. It's kind of what PowerMat always strive to be. Like they have their own little battery built in. That's not available yet. And I read through this Engadget review. They said that the apps that come on that are included with WebOS, including the browser. Who actually wrote this article? I can't remember. But he said that this was one of the best mobile browsers that he's ever used. Tim Stevens, which I think is the editor-in-chief over at there. Now, it's $4.99 for a 16-gig model, and you and I have talked about it a lot. We would really like to see these price points go down for tablets. I mean, right now, that's the exact price you're going to pay for an iPad 16-gig. And, I don't know. I mean, I've always liked it. Leo Laporte, I can't confirm this or anything. He said that the hardware was still a little lacking. That was one of the issues on the Pre and the Pre 2. is that it was not powerful enough to handle WebOS. But overall, WebOS is pretty cool. Now, they have a whopping 300 applications right now in the WebOS store. Now, to preface this, I do not think that the number of apps means too much. Because right now, on the iOS App Store, there's like a ton of apps, okay? But that just means that instead of there being one fart application, there's 80 fart applications, okay? And that means that there's not just Twitter for iPhone, but there's also TweetDeck, there's also EcoFun, there's also Usefora. So I'm not one of those people who says that, you know, just because we have a million applications in the App Store, which I don't think Apple does, but anyway, that means that this is a relevant ecosystem.
Sorry,
but the thing is, that doesn't really, the development's not there. WebOS has been out for a while. Like, one of our friends, Kyle Waters, he's got that He's had that for a long time. Pretty much 2 years. I think so.
I think he does.
So, I mean, that's a long time, and there's only been 300 apps developed, which means...
It's pretty sad.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen any of the regular Android apps working on a Honeycomb tablet. They don't look that great. They work, but they don't look that great. So you want tablet...
I don't like Honeycomb, really.
Now,
I don't like the way they got their soft, stupid buttons. Make something that looks a little bit different than a house turned like three different ways.
Yeah. I like the fact that they do have... Okay, this is the only thing I like about it is the buttons will always be the same. I think that's good for developers to use. I think that's good for the whole ecosystem, but I don't think you're right. Like, all the apps, all it is a house turned up, a house turned down, and a house turned sideways.
Yeah, I'm like, what does this even mean?
Yeah.
I don't even understand. Like, why can't you just do the standard buttons on, like... It doesn't make any
Which,
sense.
being Android, I'm pretty sure that you can, change that or something.
Yeah,
But
like, actually have a picture of a house and have,
now,
you know...
It is pretty chunky. It weighs 1.65 pounds. The iPad 2 coming in at 1.3 pounds.
1.3.
And then the Galaxy Tab, which is the lightest one that they have here, is 1.26 pounds. So, overall, I think it's an interesting product. I don't think it's what we were hoping for out of WebOS. But then again, I think it may be the best product that they could put out there right now with the, present where WebOS is. I think before WebOS can kind of go forward, before the touchpad can go forward, is they're going to need more apps and they're going to need more developers. Yeah. And right now they're not seeing that. I don't know. I mean, hopefully they'll get on that bus. But, Facebook did launch a pretty cool application with this, and it's their only tablet-based application right now, so Facebook jumping in on the game. So that's kind of interesting. So I threw this story in here because we're always up for an Apple lawsuit here kind of deal. PC Magazine is reporting that the licensing company overseeing HDMI specifications has confirmed that the existing mini display port to HDMI adapters, which are designed by several cable manufacturers and sold by several OEMs, are apparently illegal and could be recalled. So, mini display is what a lot of the Apple technology runs off of, including the older iMacs. Now that they have their Thunderbolt ports, they're kind of like going away from them in some way, but that's what all your a lot of your MacBooks and stuff run on. And Apple uses, you've seen those, right, Jeb? You've seen those little, you got to have that dongle to go in there to convert it from VGA.
Dongle.
Now, Belkin's really big into Apple, products and stuff, and they have all this stuff. They are one of the leaders to developing these mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapters. In fact, Apple features them as one of the preferred people to buy them from. I'm looking here. So they are compatible with... No. This is for audio as well. You can get audio over a MacBook mid-2010 or later. You can get audio over the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, the iMac present generations, the MacBook Pro mid-2010 and early 2009. So what do you think about this, Jeb? I mean, do you think this is maybe Apple just trying to say, hey, this is our technology. Like, we don't really want anybody playing in this space. Like, we want to sell you this dongle that allows you to go to HDMI.
I don't know. I think it's Apple just being a douchebag. That's
now,
what I personally think.
It's not. They're not specifying that Apple said this, but Apple was. I mean, you think about it. We talked about this before on some of the newer Radeon cards and stuff. They do use mini DisplayPort because you can fit more connectors on the card, and it's also a digital feed, right? I mean, it's kind of like, isn't it digital? I mean, it's obviously digital. So, but they're also saying it's a glimmer of hope in that HDMI .org or the organization understands that there is a need for this type of cable, because who really wants a dongle sticking out of their MacBook Pro when you could just have one cable that does all the converting. So I don't know.
Why don't they have a multi-plug? Why haven't they made the multi-plug yet?
I really don't know.
Where you just plug one like in some goo, you just stick the cord in the goo, and it just starts working magically.
That'd be pretty cool.
I want a goo plug. That's what I want on my next computer, a goo plug.
A goo plug.
It's just I don't even know.
Oh gosh. You can tell we really need some gadgets to review, and Jay's got one coming up very soon.
Hopefully it might happen.
I don't know.
Probably not. But,
so,
I mean, I got the washer and dryer, but whatever.
Which are pretty cool, I understand.
Just saying.
So our last story here is from Slashdot as well, and Sony actually announced on Saturday that they will be ending the life of the mini disc Walkman. The beloved of concert tapers for their small size, shock-resistant, and long-term battery life. The mini disc recorders never caught on much with the general public. I remember playing with one in the early 90s before high-quality solid-state stereo recorders were affordable, and looking forward to a day where I could have one of my own. Playback-only decks were available, but understandably, in retrospect, never became big sellers. So, we saw earlier this year, Sony actually, was it the original Walkman or something that they discontinued? I mean, in my opinion, disc-driven media players.
Drive.
I mean, don't you think everything's in solid state now?
Nope.
You don't think so?
What about your car?
No, I mean for like MP3 players and stuff.
Yeah, MP3 players are in solid state because they're MP3s. But a CD player is still a CD player.
Well, true. But I mean, who uses a CD player?
I like to use a CD player in my car.
I'm not talking about in your car. Portable music devices.
But if you have CDs for your car,
no, I understand.
You're not going to be able to play them portably.
I'm really talking about like these proprietary standards, like mini disc or something like that. Like,
that was just something to get smaller that still has CD stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, most of the time, if I buy a CD nowadays, it's going to get burned.
I mean, that's kind of like saying does anybody use cassette tapes anymore? I mean, it's an old technology, so.
Yeah. But I think that's why they're discontinuing.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like how they don't want like discontinue. They're like, oh crap, I can't buy any more mini discs. It's going to be like the VCR.
But wouldn't you agree that this mini disc kind of opened the door for portable devices for playing music on and recording music on? Because like before this, you were limited to the size of a DVD or a CD or even a cassette or something. I mean, nowadays you look at it, you've got an iPod Shuffle that's this big or whatever, and you can carry it around and carry 300 songs in your back pocket.
Yeah,
or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things where we're just like, well, technology has, left us in the dust. I mean, that's 20-year-old technology, right? So,
a mini disc?
He said in the early 90s.
Yeah, that's not 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not like that early 90s.
Well, I mean,
19 years.
Okay, 19 years, 20s, whatever.
It was 19 years, Smoothie.
Oh, 19 years.
19 years. Not a full 20. It's different.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Oh,
it's one more year.
Yeah. All right. See, when we don't have a gadget, we make really short shows.
You still have one more.
For what? That's Buffer app. I don't have another one, I swear. What is it?
Buffer.
That's for PB at night, dude.
Just kidding. It's for PB night. What are you talking about, dude?
It's blazing hot in here, actually. It's been... Alright, let's pick on Eric for a second. Just really quick. What was his tweet today that you responded to him and said? Go ahead. Let us know. So there was a heat warning in Canada.
Yeah, the humidity alert was still in play for Canada.
Yeah.
I thought that was...
What was the temperature?
I found humor in that. 30... What did he say?
31 or something.
31 degrees Celsius. It's like... Basically, it's like 80 degrees.
Something like that, yeah.
Fahrenheit. And it was 50% humidity.
Right now we're sitting
Yes, a humidity alert smoothie. Smoothie will understand this. Because it's kind of funny. It's like, okay, I can understand a heat index, advisory or, or, whatever, heat stroke warning or whatever. But humidity is like, oh no, the air's too moist. My skin's going to get wet.
Right now we're sitting at probably 80% humidity outside, about, 98 degrees.
When I checked earlier, it was like 75%, and it was like 85, 90 degrees. I was like...
I looked earlier, it was 92, and the heat index, which is what it feels like outside, that's a heat index, yeah, was 119.
Nice.
So, yeah, Taste of Alabama weather for you guys. I would encourage you guys to subscribe to the newsletter, pbcasttv.com/newsletter. That goes out every Monday morning around 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time. You can follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/thatnickjones, and nickjones.me. Follow Jacob on Twitter, twitter.com/freakinghuge, FREAKINHUGE, and JacobRoberts.me. And you can check out Jacob on Google+, G+.2/freakinghuge.
And Nick Jones / /? C://format.
Well, if you just go to plus.google.com/o/1/253732503250321, that is my profile.
If that was actually it, that'd be kind of funny. He'd be like, yes, I've already memorized that number. And that's basically... how the cookie.
Oh, if you want it, it's 11692519037596755944.
Or nickjones.me. And there's probably a link somewhere.
Yeah, probably so. I don't know. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Nick Jones.
I'm Jacob Roberts.
And this has been another episode of Gadget Gurus.
See you guys. 25 minutes.